Hello and welcome back to the Watch Me Pitch series. Today I am pitching to a head of engineering in Sweden. This company around a year ago raised just over $4 million. They have had some challenges bringing in software engineers. Typical startup problems, they want people with industry experience, the best of the best, but can't actually pay that amount of money. Nor do they have the time to go searching. They also don't have the money and the luxury to pay for executive search fees as well. So we've already shared some information. I'm here today to see if we think that we can add value and if we can do that at a fairer price than what we normally would. There are multiple positions. It's a back-end and a front-end software engineer along with a QA engineer as well. Let's see how it goes. Hello, how are you? I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. I guess it would be a congratulations on the new position. I noticed you started in January. How has it been so far, the first 2 months? You're third. You're third. Yeah. You get addicted to it, right? In a row. I think it's very difficult to go from a startup where it's fast-paced and you get all of the autonomy to a bigger company. Once you do it once or twice like it becomes very, very appealing. Well, I appreciate you making the time today as well. I've made loads of notes here, loads of notes about some of the most important things. So I guess I noticed the raise, which was announced back in 2024. I've had a look at the stack. I've also looked at some interesting points along the job description and then the current team size and some of the people who are no longer with the team as well. So I've got a good understanding, but I guess it would be good for you just to start and tell me the current situation in the company in terms of runway, the hiring challenges or the successes, and what you'd love to get out of this call. That would be a great start. And just to jump in there, when you say something could go wrong, obviously there are many things. We are in a very serious geopolitical situation across many different countries, but are you referring to something specific to Web3 or blockchain, or maybe just any sort of thing? This is the excitement of startup. It can go one way or it can go the other way as well. I had a look. So you're in the team as head of engineering, and then I think I noticed the CTO. Is he based in Dubai? Cool. And what about you personally, just to jump in, do you have like an esports background? Are you a gamer, or are you like the industry? Yeah, I know it's a little bit to the side, but I used to be in the esports world many years ago. I did semi-professional gaming. So I went to the LAN tournament, so in-person gaming competitions, and I went to 3 of those and actually won some money. But this is 10 years ago now, but Call of Duty 4, the best Call of Duty. Yeah, so Call of Duty 4, when that came out around 2007, those 3 years, I was so invested. And a couple of people on my podcast are heavily involved in the gaming industry, so it's like an old passion of mine, which is good. The engineering team, I think it looks like there's 2 people in the business right now. In software engineering? Really? Would they be contractors or are they permanent? Ah, okay. Wow. Yeah. Perhaps LinkedIn was only showing a certain group of people. Maybe LinkedIn didn't show the right people, so that helps. I noticed there was quite a few people a couple of years ago, maybe before you joined, who were with the business, but they were focused more on the Web3 and blockchain, like smart contract engineering. If I'm not mistaken, the positions that are available now are more full stack engineering, TypeScript and React. Do they need to be from a Web3 or blockchain background? So the focus for the minute is TypeScript, Node, Next.js, Postgres, and AWS. Okay, and before I go into some of the other stuff, because you're in a position where you have some people in the interview process because there's been some layoffs elsewhere, which is really good. We both know that the budgets are going to be very, very tight for external spend. So I guess, if by the end of this call, we both thought I could add value, like who is the 10 out of 10 engineer that you would be happy to pay for with an agency? What do they have to be? Where do they come from? Just describe that person. And that's for iGaming as a whole, or casino specific? And I'm sure because of the company size, you don't have a lot of time to teach and train this stuff. You need them to know this straight away. Yeah. Okay, so I assume that you've interviewed several, maybe many people up until now? Well, was there any of the ones that you interviewed and you thought they were really good, but perhaps they didn't work out? And what was the reason? Did you get any feedback from them? Yeah, and that's why we just work in this one space. So you see my video. You know, we just work with companies between 800,000 and 9.5 million, because always these companies will be around 2 to maybe 20 employees, and the people who want to come to these companies need to be high urgency, high agency, have worked in a environment that has high velocity before, and they always want ownership. But I found when I used to recruit for companies that are maybe 50 employees and above, that ownership starts to go away, you know? So these people who are coming in at this very early stages, it's very, very important. I did notice something on the job description, which is a conflict of my thoughts. It says one of the benefits is work-life balance. And I thought this is very strange for a company of this size, just raise money, you know, trying to scale. I didn't think maybe work-life balance was going to be something that we wanted to promote. So is that maybe it? Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I seen that and I thought that can't be right. You know, we're looking for people to have an entrepreneur, you know, or all-in mindset. So that's fine. I noticed office first, so this is 5 days a week in the office alongside the VC, alongside your first client. Yeah. Yeah, sure. What about you? Are you office 5 days or do you do the split? Nice. Yeah. So I always try to think about why an engineer would want to come and join this company and leave their current company, because at their current company they are probably happy, you know, they are probably engaged most of the time. So I noticed 3 things, and these are very big things. So no legacy code and no tech debt, which is always very appealing to new engineers. You know, they're not going to be fixing old tech. And it's going to be for, I think the web-free, low latency, event-driven architecture is going to be quite appealing to certain people who have an interest in this industry as well. Yeah. So you think that is one of the biggest reasons why somebody would join a different, come from a different company to here, is that we should sell on the personal freedom and the technical freedom as well. And yeah, this is what motivates. Yeah, this is what motivates early stage engineers every time. Yeah, decision making and yeah, autonomy. 2 great words. Okay, and you said a lot of people have fallen down at first stage because of mindset and you know, technical ability. Have you got to the later stages of anyone so far? That's good. I see a lot of companies, well, I work with a lot of companies who do like 5 stages at the moment, you know, very, very long for early stage engineers, especially when the market is so competitive. But that's good. Okay, and you mentioned salaries before. I think it was around 75k SEK monthly for both positions. I think the QA was just a little bit lower, maybe around 70k, give or take. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So just to check, you would prefer to find people with permanent residency, and that they can be engaged on a full-time employment, not contract anymore. You want full-time employment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And I noticed that the structure seems to be there's a head of engineering, which is you, there's a head of product and a head of finance, I believe. And then there's the CEO and CTO. So I'm sure, you know, we mentioned about the budgets and, you know, having to try and find the best people as well. Who else needs to be involved in the decision to go ahead? Mm-hmm. Mm. Nice. And do you have to cross-reference with the CTO and CEO about any agency use, or are they giving you full trust and full accountability that you do what you want to do? Of course. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh no. With an agency? Oh no. What was the reason? Mm-hmm. Mm. So perhaps the CEO and the CTO and maybe you have a bit of a bad experience through that engineer. You know, maybe that is why the agency is not the favorite method. Mm. Mm. And I'm curious, were they a specialist in this space? You know, did they work in early stage companies who have raised money, or did they do casino? What did they do? Mm. Okay, I guess I have maybe one more question just to understand, because it's, you know, we've been very honest, which I like, over the messaging as well. It sounds like I'm going up a hill because there's been a bad experience. You know, the costs are very, very important right now. They always are in early stage companies. So I guess if you were to go away from this call and speak to the CEO about using an agency, which would be me in this case, when the time is right, what does he want to see? What does he care about? What is he expecting? What would make him happy? Mm. Oh wow. Mm. Okay, just quickly, if you can share whatever you can, what rebate did they give? How long did they give you to evaluate the candidate? Do you know? Got you. Okay. And do you know what were they charging? Oh wow, that's a lot. It's true. Yeah. It's a big chunk, especially if they don't work out. And then the only other thing was the payment term. So you pay them on the day that the person starts. Was that right? Mm. And just to work it out very quickly, you know, I think roughly 6K, 72. The fee would be around, you know, £14,000, 15,000 euros. I'm not sure what that would be in you know, Swedish currency. Is that right, around that? Okay. Quite a lot. Okay. Okay. And you know, if I was to be able to do something here, you know, which would be very reasonable, I guess, considering the complexity of the search, you know, when do you think you would look to engage with someone like me? Because I know you have candidates, you are interviewing. When would you be looking to move forward with this, so I can understand when I need to move? 25. Wow. That is perfect. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I understand. That sounds like a fair plan. So there is no need to engage right now, but in 2 weeks, after you've reviewed many people, 20 plus people, you'll be in a better place to see if you need to keep looking externally. But I guess the main goal would be to hire. You know, that would be great if you could hire 2 people out of those 25. So, okay, I would respect that. Do you think the best next step would be to book in a call for maybe 2 to 3 weeks time so we can share some more updates? If it gets closer to the time you have hired, you can message me and we can agree to leave the call. Perhaps if there is still some challenges, we can talk about the commercials and the terms of business on the call, and then we can look to engage and start that search straight away. Does that sound fair? We only do 4 markets, 5 markets, which is software, engineering, data engineering, AI, LLM engineering, product, and senior leadership. So head of engineering, maybe CTO. So just tech, those 5 markets. So if there's product engineers, product designers, product owners, yes, we can help there. Yeah. Okay, well that's good. And look, I'm already thinking about maybe a flat fee. This is what I do on rare occasions where it's just an agreed fee. It doesn't matter on the salary because then I'm incentivized to find the best person, regardless of the fee. So, okay. And do you have your calendar in front of you? 1, 2. You said 2 weeks, and that's going to be that. What about the first week of April? You think you would have interviewed most of the people by then? Of course. Yep. Very true. Should we do the week after? Second week of April? What about the same time, same day? What day is it today? It's Wednesday. And the time with you is, what time is it with you? 10 a.m.? 11 a.m.? Same day? Cool. I will set something up. In the meantime, I will just do some market research. Yeah, we can move. Yeah, okay. And in the meantime, I'll do some market research, and I will look forward to that call so we can share some updates about if it's going to be a yes or a no. Sounds good. I appreciate your time today. And, good luck with the other interviews, and we will speak soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.